At exactly 2:17 a.m., the emergency line inside Blackwood Ridge High School rang for the first time in 12 years. There was no phone service in that building. There was no electricity, and everyone who had ever answered that phone was dead. I know, because when I picked it up, a child's voice whispered my name. And I had never told anyone I was there. Spooky encounter at an abandoned school. People in Raven Creek, Ohio avoided Blackwood Ridge High like it was infected. The school had been shut down after a fire in 2012, one that killed 6 students and a janitor during an overnight detention. The official report said faulty wiring. Locals said something far worse had been awakened. I was a small-time paranormal YouTuber, desperate for views, desperate for a story that would finally break me into the algorithm. When I saw an anonymous tip about voices still being heard inside Blackwood, I packed my camera, my flashlight, and a stomach full of bad decisions. The gates were rusted shut, but someone had already broken them open. The school sat like a dead animal beneath the moon, windows dark, roof sagging, paint peeling like old skin. As I stepped inside, the temperature dropped instantly. My breath fogged. The air smelled of wet paper and ash. "All right, guys," I whispered into my camera. "We're inside Blackwood Ridge High. If anything happens..." Something slammed upstairs. Hard. I froze. "You're seeing it live," I finished, trying to sound brave. The hallway was lined with lockers, some hanging open, others dented inward as if something had tried to escape from inside. Every step I took echoed far too loudly. Then I heard it. Footsteps. Small. Running. "Hello," I called. "Is someone here?" No answer. But the footsteps didn't stop. They ran past me, even though the hallway was empty. The first classroom, room 213, was the last place the students were seen alive. The door was half burned, blackened around the handle. I pushed it open, and my flashlight revealed desks still arranged neatly. Notebooks lay on them, untouched since the fire. One notebook was open. Written in shaky handwriting were 3 words. "It won't let us." Suddenly, the chalkboard began to scratch. "SCRRRRREEEE." White lines formed slowly. "Why did you come back?" "I didn't." I swallowed. "I didn't come back. I was never here before." The board paused. Then new words appeared. "You were here when you died." My blood went cold. The classroom door slammed shut behind me. I ran. The hall of whispers. The hallway had changed. It was longer now. The lockers were gone, replaced by endless classroom doors on both sides. From behind each door came faint voices. Crying. Begging. Praying. I pressed my ear against one. "Please, I don't want to burn again." I pulled away in horror. From another door, a boy screamed, "The shadow is coming." The lights flickered. At the far end of the hall, something tall stood in the darkness. Too tall to be human. Its limbs were thin, stretched like wires. Its head brushed the ceiling. And it was facing me. Slowly, it began to walk. Each step sounded like cracking bones. I turned and ran. The gym. I burst into the gymnasium, nearly slipping on the polished floor. The bleachers were pulled out, and sitting on them were dozens of students. All burned. Their skin was black and cracked, eyes glowing faintly. They all turned to look at me at once. A little girl stood up. "You're late," she said. The bell already rang. The gym lights snapped on. Above the basketball court hung a huge black shape, dripping like tar. It was the shadow. The students began to chant. "Stay, stay, stay." I ran for the exit. The doors locked themselves. The shadow dropped from the ceiling. It landed with a wet, heavy thud. And it started crawling toward me. The truth. I tripped, and fell. The shadow loomed over me, its face shifting between dozens of burned children. "Do you remember?" It hissed. Images exploded in my head. I was a student here. I was in detention the night of the fire. I had started it. I knocked over a candle as a prank. I ran. They didn't. "You left us," the shadow growled. "I didn't mean to," I cried. "But you did." The shadow opened its mouth. And inside were all their screaming faces. The emergency phone began to ring. 2:17 a.m. The phone was mounted on the gym wall. I ran to it and picked it up. "Hello." My own voice answered. "Don't come here. Leave now. Run." The shadow shrieked as if in pain. The students screamed. The gym doors burst open. I ran out into the night, never looking back. Epilogue. My video went viral. Millions of views. Thousands of subscribers. But every night at 2:17 a.m., my phone rings. When I answer, a child's voice whispers, "You forgot us again." And somewhere, inside Blackwood Ridge High School, the shadow is still waiting.